Hello and welcome. This is the end of the 30th day of December 2018. My name is Derek. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within one's own each risk and their own reward. All right, when you see these kinds of moves, especially like this one, and it's just going on now within this exchange, and this is the Bitfinex exchange on Bitcoin, and not so much for these ones. But like generally, definitely this, and most certainly this, and very small degree this. Those are just people normally, like an individual, selling it down more than it should. So you'd think that a different exchange, like say, I don't know, maybe the Coinbase exchange would be different. No, it's not. It's got the same. How about the Bitstamp exchange? Well, theirs showing less trades, but this is almost looking like a true battle of the bears versus that of the bulls, having an interesting battle at this point, like a Ali versus Fraser, Holyfield versus Tyson. At least that was my day and age, was Holyfield and Tyson. But amongst a single hour time frame, a lot of markets, when I go to the broad indexes, or not broad, but everything in general, are showing that they want to fall from this 18 average. I see this on Bitcoin. If I search this by percentage gainers, Komodo's at the top, and the arbitrage is no longer available for. We can see in here that just in the last hour on Bittrex, this price goes up to 26 change. And on the other side, it went up to, on that candle, it went up to 24.7. It then didn't get up to 25. I didn't get the best arbitrage available, but I did get a few extra more of these coins along the way. I'm on the single hour time frame. I mean, that's just one of the better charts. When we look at some of these other ones like BRK, it's a smaller one, this one there. PivX, which has had the gains, showing again weakness on the 18. That's what we're going to see with a lot of them. This one shouldn't count, but it kind of does, as it's not as heavily traded. And I'm just going to go like this. I guess that's all I can eliminate. Strat looking to break down as well, of course, within this move. It was in a trend of just not going down much below the 18 lows and resisting mainly the 18 lows. And it resisted it here from the highs. Now a big fall, big statement on such. Redcoin, I'm not going to click. Litecoin against the US dollar, leaving its 18 average of lows. Swarm City token, that does too low volume to count. Zen might, no, not really the same way. There's this interesting day here where it got some decent buy orders in here. This is what I talk about, where someone just sells it down. I'm pretty certain, I can't say too certain though, that on other sites like Bittrex, this either didn't go down much at all below the support, or less, because this isn't too normal to have. But we see how it's showing continued weakness amongst such a level as well. Qtum also, this is a big one in here, as it broke this level of support in here, starting to go down lower. Theta coin also showing continued weakness amongst such as well. Ethereum definitely in here. I mean, it hasn't broken down, but one play going down below the 18 lows, then back up, and now we're going to be in the territory of some of the coins that I haven't been looking at, as Cardano definitely showing the weakness there as well. I'm not going to, Powell's too small. NEM breaking down below the 18. Ripple showing weakness also. So it's in harmony, showing as if that we may have a global fall, or as a leg lower, as we head into the final day of the year. Litecoin against Bitcoin, it too showing extra weakness. Ethereum coin, it was doing well, and it's still chopping around, but at the lower end, and definitely very volatile and so choppy. We can see the symmetricalness in this within these highs and these lows, and the weakness, of course, within this as well. Cloak may not have as much volume, and it doesn't. ZEC should have enough volume, and it's continuing its weakness. Raven is one that I should be buying this soon. This has got to be down on the daily. Yeah, I mean, it's my value of this is my lowest owned coin on an exchange, so it's due for a buy order. and it's probably a decent, well, considering I'm going from this leg lower here, because the buy order would have been placed back in here somewhere at these lows, so probably somewhere in this area. But it's an equivalency to Litecoin though, because that's what it's traded against. But either way, on the hourly time frame, showing it on the decline. Loom showing a little bit of weakness. There was a nice little sell opportunity on December the 27th. Not great proportions, but again, this little move here doesn't look like a real move. As this, and let's just see for sure. Let's find this on a different exchange. What would be the next biggest one other than Binance? Okay, let's just check Poloniex. Oh, it did happen there. Okay. Did it happen on Bittrex as well? Global. Okay. Well, sometimes they do. That's unusual, but that's how the game is played, I guess. That high was around 1350. And this high wasn't quite. So there was a situation where a big bunch of buyers came in, and it was a definite global event, and it got evaporated really quickly. Now that could have been a case of somebody wanting to buy. They fund every exchange, and then that's just what they bought each one up to. So that could be another case as well. But throwing that part aside, let's move on to some other coins. We got GNT starting to show some. I mean, this, if this doesn't say leg lower, for you have this level of resistance area that it was at, so that's where it came back to here, and then you lower high this one. But I mean, it's productive lower high, because this was a pretty good fall. It had this level of resistance in here and got above that one. Got above the 18. It actually found support in here on the way up. And then we supported here for a while. It didn't get above the 18 average of highs. And then obviously this is the red candle down, which then found support back to this previous area of small congestion. Now it's had small congestion here now. So therefore, next leg lower, well, that's usually a spot where, oh, it's going to come to where it came from. That, to me, is the obvious next key spot. And I might as well just eliminate this and go like that. Go like this. Look at other time frames. So now, 4-hour time frame, we're talking about going back to a key low. And what have we seen? Oftentimes, failed moves, fast moves lower. Fast move or failed move? No fast move. Failed move, maybe? Nope. So basically, it's just staying range bound. This is a more aggressive play. So therefore, I mean, it can still hold this and keep the range floated going. But if the more often you have a support being tested, and you have any type of this neutral pattern, when you break the key support or resistance, it's a big deal to the next leg, whether it be up or down. And right now it's in the middle of this range. So going down doesn't say it's going to break down. It says a test of this level is going to be imminent, and we'll see if it passes or not. Continuing on though with LSK on the hourly time frame, it showing weakness. The gold market must be opening. That's the ratio. So this is the actual gold itself. Not doing too much. ZRX or 0x showing weakness amongst the 18. Doji I don't need to show because of its small price number. Verge is next on the list. It's just nothing. It's really nothing going on there. Burst might be small too. Artbyte is coming back. So this one here, even here you can, it looks as something. Candles aren't moving too much, but I realize looking at this on a weekly, we're amongst low volatility, and this thing is going to be poised for either a decent leg lower or a decent leg higher. So at 38, decent leg lower. It could be even go to single digits, if it, or to nothing. That's the true extent. Decent leg higher. Well, it was at 350. That's close to a 10x move. These many pierces above here got to 400 and change. 500. So situationally, going back are 15x moves. It's technically possible if it breaks resistance that it could be a 4x move. This chart doesn't show suffice information for the logarithmic view, but looking at this, you're seeing volatility of a high of 50, a low of 30, not quite double, and more than one season. That in crypto space, that's low volatility. But as the chart lies, you have the sideways correction. So now an attempt to revert trend back to where it came from, it can easily still come deeper and be at that productive area, which is the 18 lows, and holding this general congestion area as support. But getting above this level, it's definitely got the potential. I'm not trying to guess the day and when it's going to happen. Rather just have my buy and sell orders in place. And I'm waiting to buy this back for ICE. I'm getting close. I am getting close because I looked before, I was 3 basis points away from buying. But I sold up here, and I have a sell order lower than where it is. So probably around 36 or 37 even. Because where would it have been earlier today when I looked at it? It would have been obviously between 39 and 37. So it's around 35, 34. But that's it. I'm not trying to predict. So if it hits this 34 or whatever, say that, or 35 or wherever my buy order is, then I'll adjust my orders. Put a sell order back somewhere probably around 43. And then a new buy order will come in probably around 30. Or 4 to 5, 6 basis points lower. And then just work from there. And if it doesn't buy, then I'm going to probably I'm going to sell next. And that would be somewhere probably little north of 50. And I'll finish this off within the test true US dollar. And it's showing the same thing on the 15. So this is interesting what is going on. The volume for today, is there anything of interesting volume? Not really. Although it is early in the day. I mean, these moves like this that have been happening, like this on the 15th up and down, are generally happening on not such big volume. But it's not, I don't usually see stuff like this with this, and every Bitcoin chart showing this. This is normal on some of the low volume charts, but within that, then this is unnormal to trade like this with those charts. So like this type of movement and these types of wicks are normal. These ones are normal. This isn't, but it happened. And the only thing I can explain is a true bulls versus bears battle amongst this. And again, we're looking at the reverse here on the 15 and 4 hour. You don't see those big wick lines in here, not too often. And having an odd one like this after a down move, that's not even really a wick. That's just within the period having its correction. And on this one, I mean, I can't tell anything from this. It's so choppy up and down. It's just other than it's established in this case going sideways after a down move, and then looking at this on its daily chart, up move, correctionary place, and it's still correcting. It's had to move up to the 18 highs, it's went to the lows, it's then rallied from there, and now I got this neutral range, 27.8 to like 24.1, and then within Bitcoin, that translates to 3,100 to a little over 4,000 or 42 or whatever that high in numbers happens to be. So until we look at the change, I realize amongst this, if this breaks resistance, Bitcoin's having another leg lower, so this should make a new high and go north of the 33,000 or $3,000 equivalency level that I've talked about for quite some time, and hit around a noticeable number larger. And then we'll see where we go from there with what I consider a good chance of the bottom. Thus, I feel that the lows are near for Bitcoin and the highs would be near for this. But then this falling below here could be one of the, or would be one of those situations for Bitcoin where it could be ready to test first what's around 5,000 and then a bigger level a little over 6. But it's just in this correctionary mode, and if there's going to be a bulls and bears battle, I'm not going to try to predict who's going to win this right now. I probably picked wrong when I guessed who would win Holyfield and Tyson back then, and I wasn't around to predict Ali Frazier. Have yourself a great day, and a night, morning, whatever, whenever it happens to be for you. Bye-bye.